today's guest speaker, Mr. Trevor Hudson.
How y'all doing? Now they gave me this podium, but if you've been in any class of mine, I'm not staying back here. We finna get moving. First off, so they asked me to speak, and it's an honor and a privilege to get the opportunity to speak to you guys. And I want to start off by saying thank you for what you do. When things happen, you just keep moving. So I titled this, "Don't Thank Me for My Service, Take Advantage of My Service." And people say, well, why don't you want people to tell you thank you? Why don't you want to hear somebody say thank you for all the things that you've done? Because sometimes when somebody tells you thank you, I don't even know what to respond. What do you respond when somebody says thank you for your service? Thank you for yours too. Because you know what? Believe it or not, all of you serve in one way or the other. So as we go through this little journey here, I'm gonna try to explain to you what I mean when I say take advantage of my service. And hopefully we can get somewhere. So a lot of times people ask me, why did I join the military? Why did you serve your country? And I would love to tell you, I was sitting down one day and I had this patriotic feeling that came over my body and I just knew that I had to serve. The lie detector test said, that was a lie. Ladies and gentlemen, I joined the service for all the wrong reasons. You see this kid right here? That little kid right there? He had no dreams, no aspirations, no idea the military was in his future. Really, the reason I joined the military, now I'm gonna tell y'all some stuff that I can't take back. Once I say it, I can't take it back, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you. I was in high school, chilling. I was determined to play football for the University of Miami. There was one problem. The University of Miami was determined not to offer me a scholarship. Those two things didn't go together. So I happened to be in school one day, and we would never do this here at this school, so just don't ever follow this, but I was skipping. I was skipping school in the hallways. Now usually back in my days when we skipped school, we left the school, but for some reason, old Hadrico wanted to be in the hallway. And as I was getting close to the auditorium, I saw the principal. And I didn't want to get in trouble, so guess what I did? I ran into the auditorium. And when I ran in, there was a bunch of people in uniform giving a test. And the young man said, "What's your name?" I said, "What you want to know my name for?" He said, "Are you here to take the ASVAB so you can join the military?" Now, I said some colorful things to this young man that we won't repeat, because I've changed my life. But long story short, I told him I wasn't taking the test because in my brain, I thought I knew everything, just like y'all think y'all know everything. Trust me, I teach y'all all day long. You think you know everything. So I thought the principal was going to be gone. So when I ran back out, the principal said, "Trevor, why are you in the hallway?" Here's a lesson about lying. When you lie, you got to lie again to cover up the first lie. So don't lie. So I told the principal, "Oh, ma'am, I just needed to get some water." Well, she said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna watch you get some water and then you can go back in." So not only did I have to lie again, I had to drink from this nasty water fountain that nobody drinks from and go back in. And when I went back in, I took the ASVAB. Long story short, that kid turned into this guy. That kid turned into this guy. Now, my military career, here goes another. I would love to tell you it was just this decorated career where I saved lives, jumped out of planes, did all of that. Next slide. One more. Who can tell me what day this is? 9/11. Now, if you ask your parents and you ask any adult, they'll give you a story about where they were on this day and what they remember and what they were doing. My 9/11 story was a little unique. Because for my 9/11, I was at basic training. They were teaching me how to clean a gun. Exactly, I was learning how to clean a gun. and they came in and said somebody ran into the Twin Towers. Now, no shot on Miami, Florida, but I had a Miami, Florida Dade County education. I didn't know what the Twin Towers was. I didn't. So when they told us, I thought the whole thing was fake. I thought it was just this made-up story of something that happened. Quickly, my basic training went from learning the military to being involved in international conflict within months. Now, mind you, I didn't join to be patriotic, but I had a reason before I knew it. I had a reason to serve before I knew it because I didn't know one person in that building, but I didn't need to know a person in that building. Because what somebody did was attack the country that I lived in, the country that I loved, and the country that I was ready to fight for, and the country that you now reside in. Next slide. January 3rd, 2003. Remember, I joined in 01, 2003, first deployment. That's basic training. They took that kid, gave him a red rope, and before I knew it, guess what? I was running around with some big guns in my hand. First deployment, overseas. I had never been out of Florida, let alone outside of the country. You learn real quick what matters. You know, I asked my students, and we'll get into this a little bit further later, like, are you happy about coming to school on Veterans Day? What you think the answer was? Don't be shy, what you think the answer was? I don't want to be here. My friends off. They get to party, they get to go out to the mall. We got to come to school. We are in school for 6 hours. And you guys, a lot of kids don't want to spend that 6 hours. When you get deployed, let me give you a little secret. Some people in this chair may know. 6 days a week, 12-hour shifts. 6 days a week. That one day we got, you spent it sleeping, getting ready for the next shift. Not knowing what's going to happen. Not knowing what kind of medical casualty is going to come into the tent. Not knowing if the person that you're going to have to work on is on your side or on the other side. But you don't get to choose who you get to help. That's just your job. You don't get to choose if you get to Snapchat about it, if you get to Facebook, if you get to do all that other stuff, because you have a job to do. So my service put me in situations that I wasn't even comfortable with. But guess what? I didn't join for the right reasons, but I stayed because they gave me the reasons. Next slide. Now, through my career, I had success. Go ahead. I won Airman of the Quarter. I think I keep going. You got NCO of the Quarter. I was winning awards because, you know, I'm charismatic. You know, I got this boyish charm. You know what I'm saying? I can make the people love me. You know, that's how Drico Live. Keep on going. You know, listen. I even won senior. Every rank tier I joined, I won a quarterly award. And look, let me tell you something. Look, I had a good prize too. Look at that beautiful wife of mine. She bad, I know. She gonna be mad. Listen, she gonna be mad at me later because she told me, don't use that picture. But I'm grown, I do what I want. But here's the thing. Though I had successes, I had to go through failure. And this is something I really want to emphasize to you guys. Failure comes before success in the dictionary for a reason. Because before you get success, you must, you have to, you will, it's going to happen. You have to go through failure. And failure doesn't mean that you failed, it just means you're taking a pit stop before you get to where you want to get to. Everything you want in life is on the other side of hard. You failed a test, take it again. You didn't get a good grade, take it again. Stop making excuses for why you didn't get something done. Well, the teacher didn't tell me. Oh, I didn't know. I'm gonna tell you something that I do know. We're required to give you an agenda. It's there somewhere. You have got to stop making excuses for your failure and overcome it. Now, mind you, I had my failure. When I worked in the hospital, the first 3 people that I worked on died. The first 3. You talk about messing with your psyche. The first 3 traumas came in. They died. 6 LOCs, go to the next one. 6 LORs. Let me explain it to you. I had to go see Dean Rivera 6 times. And then I had to go see Dean Rivera another 4 times because it got even worse. 2 base restrictions. I was told I couldn't leave base because I did things that was dumb. This back when I was Hadrico lit. This is back when I had no good common sense. So it doesn't mean because you have success you can't have failures. Your failures are something that makes you who you are. Tested for tech sergeant 8 times. Every stripe on this chest was earned through hard work. Testing is something you can do once a year. It took me 8 years to make 1 rank. Let me tell you something. You talk about demoralizing, feeling like as a man I can't make enough money to feed for my family. It was tough times, but that was a part of failure. But I got over that failure. You know why? Because through all that, I still came out, 4 degrees. I still got 2 national registries, 3 certifications, life coach, CT, nuclear medicine, resiliency trainer, diversity inclusion. I still overcame failures just like you can overcome. Just like when you get a bad grade on a test, you can find a way to get over it. And most of all, one of my biggest successes, and they're gonna be so mad at me, boom, the Fam Bam. Everybody has to find their why. I got 4 of them. You have to find why you keep going. Now, when I asked my students, I wrote it down. I said, what are some of the reasons why you don't want to be at school today? They said, I want to stay home. I want to sleep. I want to spend time with my family. I'm jealous of other schools. I want to relax. I want to respect the veterans. It's not fair. These are the things they said. Let me address a couple of them. Life ain't fair. Fair is a place you ride rides and eat cotton candy. Stop looking for things to be fair. Number 1. Number 2, I want to spend time with family. I'm going to tell y'all a secret. You get out of school at 2 o'clock, the day is not over. If you want to spend time, spend time. I want to respect the veterans. For your veterans that are in your family, let me tell you something. They don't have Snapchat. They don't have other things. This is crazy thing that we used to do. It's called write them a letter. Why don't you write them a letter and say, hey, you know what I did for you, Granddad? Today, I got dressed in my school's best uniform, and I came to an assembly to honor veterans. In 20 years of service, let me tell you something. This is the most anybody's ever done for me, for y'all sitting here right now. Because everybody else, they offer me a meal, they won't give me a drink. So this is how you take advantage of my service. Over 20 years, I've moved 12 times, so I forced my family to pick up and go. Been deployed 2 times, been to over 15 countries. But you guys, next time before you complain over spending 6 hours in school, I have spent 1,500 days away from my family. That's over 4 years of time that I cannot get back. But you upset about 6 hours? But maybe that's not good enough for you. Next slide. When you take advantage of my service, think about this. Maybe my sacrifice isn't good enough. But since 2001, over 7,000 service members have been killed in operations, have given the ultimate sacrifice so you can be free, so you can Snapchat, so you can Facebook, so we can go beat Liberty on Friday, so we can do all these things that we can do. They gave the ultimate sacrifice. And what we ask of you is 6 hours. So I ask you again, are you upset that you at school on Veterans Day? I would hope that your answer would change, because what you're doing is more than most. Now, I typically would end this by saying, Hadrigo Live out, but today, Master Sergeant Hudson out.